accordance with the current executive orders of the governor, the Board of Trustees is permitted to meet in person and to permit public attendance at the meeting subject to limitations. The Board of Trustees is holding this meeting in person, and the public is permitted to attend. As an accommodation to those members of the public who have health and safety concerns related to COVID-19, the public also may observe the meeting on the Village of North Hills YouTube channel. In accordance with the Open Meetings Law, the public has the right to be heard on agenda items, which are public hearings. On all other matters, the public does not have the right to comment on agenda items unless authorized by the rules of the board. Members of the public who wish to provide comments on an agenda item or a public hearing may do so in person or through the written chat section on the village YouTube channel. Comments may also be provided before or during the meeting via email to villageadministrator@villagenorthhills.com. The clerk will now call a roll for attendance at this meeting by members of the board and relevant village staff.
Mayor Natus,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Present.
Trustee Lentini, present. Trustee Arnold,
Present.
Trustee Cohen, present. Building Superintendent Chinquamani.
Present.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. A quorum of the board is in attendance, and we can begin the business of this meeting. I'm going to ask you all to please rise as Miriam Carroll, our village administrator, leads us to the pledge of allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The only announcement I have is that the next meeting of this Board of Trustees is January 20th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. Place or access location will be announced on the village website. Are there any additions or corrections to the November 18th, 2020 minutes?
No.
There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the November 18th, 2020 minutes as circulated.
I make that motion.
I second that.
Trustee Cohen makes the motion. Trustee Arnold seconds the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Our December 16th meeting was adjourned due to inclement weather and adverse travel conditions. The minutes reflect that I directed that the board meeting be scheduled tonight instead at 6 p.m. And if there are no additions or corrections to that set of minutes, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes as circulated.
I make the motion.
Trustee Cohen makes the motion.
I second that motion.
Trustee Arnold seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Again, unanimously approved. We have two public hearings on for tonight. And I'm making a motion to adjourn those public hearings to January 20th, 2021 in accordance with the resolutions circulated by our village attorney, which are all in your possession. Is there a second to my motion?
Mayor Natus, since there are two different resolutions, if we could have two separate motions, please, thank you.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the application of RXR North Hills Phase 1 Owners LLC January 20th, 2021.
So moved.
I made the motion. The second?
Yes.
There's a second. Any discussion on the motion? If not, please call the roll of the members of the board to approve this motion.
Okay. Mayor Natus,
Aye.
Mayor Scambati, Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Aye.
Trustee Lentini. Aye. Trustee Arnold,
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed. The motion has passed.
Thank you. My next motion is to adjourn to January 20th, case number 18-01BT. This is a continued application of the Buckley Country Day School, and I'll make the motion to adjourn that public hearing to January 20th, 2021. Is there a second?
So moved.
I made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Can you please poll the board?
Mayor Natus,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Aye.
Trustee Lentini. Aye. Trustee Arnold,
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda, finance and operations. Can we please have the treasurer's report?
Yes. Checking account, $7,184,102.33. Repair reserve, $727,353.98. Park and recreation, $1,015,454.26. Capital reserve, village hall, $257,620.69. Special escrow, $78,871.75. Community amenities, $37,151,211.20.
And the Borough Accounting Fee and the Trust and Agency of Both Awards. Correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions in connection with the treasurer's report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it as circulated.
So moved.
Deputy Mayor Scambati makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Trustee Lentini seconds. Can you please poll the board?
Yes. Mayor Natus,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Aye.
Trustee Lentini. Aye. Trustee Arnold,
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, 6B, transfer of appropriations from the general fund. $5,000 from contingency to the village-owned property contractual expense. I'll entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
I second that motion.
Trustee Cohen makes the motion, trustee Arnold second. Can you please call the members of the board?
Yes. Mayor Natus,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Aye.
Trustee Lentini. Aye. Trustee Arnold.
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, and 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. The next item is a transfer from contingency, $20,000 into the trees contractual expense.
I also make that motion.
Trustee Cohen makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Trustee Lentini seconds. All in favor, please poll the board.
Mayor Natus,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Aye.
Trustee Lentini. Aye. Trustee Arnold.
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda, payment of claims, general fund warrant 12/20. Does anyone have any questions with respect to the abstract of claims that was circulated to the members of the board and in your packet?
The only question that I have, Mayor, is the shuttle. There has not been any expenditures for the shuttle for the last month in December.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
I'd like to take a motion to approve the payment of claims, general fund warrant 12/20.
I make the motion to approve warrant 12/20 as circulated.
I'll second the motion.
Trustee Cohen makes the motion, Deputy Mayor Scambati second the motion. Can you please poll the members of the board?
Mayor Navis.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambati.
Aye.
Trustee Mancini. Aye. Trustee Arnold.
Aye.
Trustee Cohen.
Aye.
There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Next item is a board discussion. Item 7A, the shuttle service. I'll bring you all up to date on that one. Our village attorney prepared an amendment to the existing shuttle agreement. Unfortunately, the gentleman who handles it for the vendor had a serious accident. He's in the hospital. Nick Falco is sedated and he's in an induced coma. And he was struck by an automobile crossing Glendale Road. He was crossing. Anyway, John Wall, who is the president of the company, and I spoke this morning. Deputy Mayor Scambati was with me when we had the conversation. And they haven't really had a chance to review the amendment. And at this point, knowing that the city is once again in lockdown, he and I discussed obviously not commencing the shuttle service as we previously anticipated until sometime in January. And it all depends, we have to be flexible, and it will depend on what happens with the city and the city administration. Obviously, under those circumstances, what we'll also have to do is probably maybe have a minor date change on the amended agreement. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. In the meantime, there will be no shuttle service commenced at this time, and we will continue to keep you informed. Any questions, anyone?
No.
Item 7B, an update on the Lowell County Park project. Deputy Mayor Scambati is in charge of that project. He's been working with his committee.
Mayor, I'd like to ask Peter Sincamani. He's been in conversation with Tom Levin about the revised proposal, request for proposal agreement.
Yeah, so the village attorney had prepared a new bid document, and unfortunately, he's not with us here to answer any questions we have, but that should be ready to go based on approval of the board. Once we have that, we can give him dates to fill in on the bid document, because right now the document is dateless, so it has to have all of that revised so that we could then issue it. But if anyone has any comments, we should let the village attorney know so he can make changes.
Yeah, Peter, I'd like to bring the board up to date on this. Ironically enough, when I had asked, when I spoke to you this morning, I asked about what was the Lowell King Park on the agenda, and you brought it to my attention that Tom Levin revised the bid documents, and he submitted them in November for all of us. So I don't know if everybody has a copy of them, but it's like 100 pages of bid documents that he revised, and we're able to send this out to contractors who want to bid on the project.
Correct. As it is in your hand, it's not ready to send out because the board would have to approve dates that we're going to issue this, and then he has to revise the document. There's no dates on the document as far as when the bids have to be returned, when we're opening it to bid. I think this was just really a draft copy of it to make sure that there were no amendments to the bid document before issuing.
What I'd like, excuse me, Mayor, what I'd like to do is I would like to ask the board for them to review it, and then at the January meeting, we could vote on the revised bid documents be sent out for pricing.
Well, this was circulated November 27th, and I would assume that some members of the board have already reviewed it, I would hope. Is there anyone who hasn't reviewed it? And Mr. Cinquemani, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you reviewed it? Do you have any comments in connection? Because I'm relying to a great extent on your expertise.
Yeah, this version that we have in our hand we issued a great deal of comments the last time around, and they've been addressed. As far as this, I don't have any comment other than I would like to know, we don't have the village attorney's opinion on dates and things of that nature for issuing this. So, like I said, he left everything blank. So I don't know if the
date's blank because you wanted us to review it. The cover letter of his email said review the attached revised bid documents, and he said please review it prior to approval to ensure that this includes all of the village requirements. And I'm asking you if this includes all of the village requirements.
yes,
It does.
yes.
And so he's saying also that the documents were prepared in accordance with the village advice, that it intends to award a contract to the successful bidder. And he gave us all of this information, and Deputy Mayor, if you would like, we can approve this and just have the dates inserted based on the timing.
Mayor, I would appreciate for us to have Mr. Levin's input, and to wait from now until January. I don't think that we're going to lose any time.
But they can't do the work anyway.
Yeah, so, we're trying
Okay, well,
to,
I'll move the table. And
yeah, we're trying to approve something that Mr. Levin's not going to be involved in. He's been involved with the park project from day one. He's the one that told us that the bid documents that we originally submitted were not correct, and he would redo the bid documents, and he did. So let's wait for any input that he could give us.
Well, he's going to rely on what you tell him in terms of timing, and he's going to rely on what you and Mr. Cinquemani tell him in terms of timing. At that point, he'll be able to put in dates for the RFP to be responded to. But I have no problem putting this off until January, so if you'd rather. I don't think he has any additional comments, but if you would like to wait until the January meeting.
I would feel more comfortable.
I make a motion that the table is to January.
A motion to table to January.
Deputy Mayor Scalabari make the motion to table this
I second that.
January meeting. Trustee Arnold seconds the motion. Can you please poll the board?
Mayor Natus.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambani.
Aye.
Trustee Mancini. Aye. Trustee Arnold.
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Table to the January 20th meeting, 2021. Okay, the next item for board discussion is the fire alarm system. You've all received the memo dated December 14th from our village administrator. Again, I'll fill you in on this quickly. The original proposal that came in was for a 5-year term without any increase in price. They also kept the same price that they had for the previous contract. And in accordance with the village attorney's advice that we could not enter into a 5-year contract because it's beyond the term of this board, he recommended that it be reduced to a 4-year term. So Ms. Mary Ann Lovacaro went back to the vendor, and everything stayed the same, except that instead of a 5-year agreement at a fixed price, it is now a 4-year agreement at a fixed price. And I can also tell you that our village administrator checked with the state procurement to see who was on there, and the lowest price under the state contract was $4,000 a year, and this company is doing it for us for $2,800 per year. So we couldn't even save money by using a state contract. I'm therefore recommending that we, and I checked with the village administrator, who also told me that their service was excellent, and they've been responsive, and I recommend that we continue with them the next 4 years.
Yes, they're located in Port Washington, and as the fire alarm can be a life, health, and safety issue, their response time is very quick, and we found them courteous and easy to work with.
Thank you. I'll entertain the motion and
Do we have conversation, discussion?
Sure.
Yeah, I find it ironic that we're able to get a contract so well serving the village the way that they are serving the village, and we're not able to give them a 5-year contract.
The limit under the law is that we cannot give more than our term of office, and this board, the longest we were elected for is 4 years. So we have to limit it to a 4-year contract.
That was fun.
Yes, well, we said it was not appropriate for us to give a 5-year contract because it's beyond the scope of our authority, because we may not be in office 5 years from now. That's the whole purpose of reducing it to 4 years. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we approve the contract for the maintenance for the fire alarm system with New York Fire Service, Inc., the annual testing and maintenance as previously submitted, and at the price of $2,800 per year.
I'll make the motion.
Deputy Mayor Scambati makes the motion. Is there a second? Trustee Cohen seconds. Can you please poll the members of the board?
Mayor Navis.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scambati.
Aye.
Trustee Landini. Aye. Trustee Arnold.
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Does anyone have any unfinished business to discuss? That's item 8 on our agenda. There being none. You have? Anyone? Does anyone have any new business to discuss? Well, what I indicated to Mr. Levin was that when we're ready for the executive session, if he hasn't joined the meeting, we'll put the executive session off to the January 20th board meeting. But since he has not contacted us, and since we're all finished with the business of the board, I will move that the executive session be put over to January 20th when we can have the advice of counsel.
Mayor, are we allowed to go into executive session without the village attorney? Just to
No, sir.
No.
No, because you're going into executive session for legal advice. So we will have to put it off until January 20th. Any other questions? I make the motion to adjourn the executive session until January 20th. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Gambari seconds.
I don't believe you have to do that, Mayor. I don't, because we didn't make a motion to go into executive session.
Oh,
Maybe.
Well,
So do
we'll
this.
take it up then on January 20th. The two items that we will be discussing for legal advice are in the package, and we will discuss that in executive session with your vice counsel. Any good in welfare or anything before we, I entertain a motion to adjourn?
I just wish everybody happy holiday.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to my
Better
friends.
2021.
Merry Christmas to my friends.
Here, here.
Right. Merry Christmas to my staff, who have all been fabulous. And I wish you all a very happy and a healthy new year, 2020.
I would assume that we're not having a holiday one.
No, we're not.
No.
I would second that motion. Happy New Year.
No, we're not. No, we're being extra cautious and protecting everyone.
From the first year we had that.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second trustee Cohen's motion.
Trustee Cohen made the motion, Deputy Mayor Gambari seconded the motion. Can you please poll the members of the board?
Mayor Nash.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Scamati.
Aye.
Trustee Mantini. Aye. Trustee Arnold.
Aye.
Trustee Cohen. Aye. There are 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstentions. The motion is adopted.
Thank you all. I wish you all very well. A happy and
Happy and healthy
good holiday and Merry Christmas and whatever else we need. And